Hi, I'm Adriana Baranek and you're watching UseWise channel. It is channeled by Adria Group. And what is UseWise is we still don't know. UseWise is the web platform we are developing to create one place where companies will be able to buy, deploy and automate services from various public cloud vendors. The topic today is change management. It is a very common topic and a very necessary topic to be considered, the topic that needs to be taken very seriously when you're considering your move to the cloud. Especially if you are considering changing your office productivity tools, and it is because they tend to touch so much of all where every day processes, and they are being used by all the employees, and they can have a very profound impact on company culture and dynamics. I will be today explaining the change management with regard to the change of office productivity tools mostly, but change management is definitely an important topic when you're considering moving your workloads to the cloud in any case. When I'm talking about the office productivity tools, I'm talking about email, I'm talking about word processing tools, I'm talking about spreadsheet editors, I'm talking about presentation tools. To start with the basics, the short definition of change management is that change management is a systematic approach to dealing with the transition or transformation of an organization's goals, processes, or technologies. The purpose of change management is to implement strategies for effecting change and controlling change, and also helping people to adapt to change. For some of the very tech IT people, change management is sometimes just taking care of the releases. In the sense in which we are talking about change management today, and in the sense in which I'm very inclined to think most when I hear about change management, it is this definition. What does this change management topic means in the context of your decision to move your office productivity tools into the cloud? It means that you should plan the project in a way that will be, on one hand, not disruptive, and on the other hand, that it will bring positive change to your organization. For instance, before you introduce the new spreadsheet editor, you should inform your employees about the change in advance. And not only that, you should also try to get their support for the change by giving them information and the reasons for the change, providing them proper education and learning opportunities so that they do not feel lost and helpless wondering why the change was even needed. This is definitely part of a soft skill set, and to some people it might sound like it is useless, like it is not necessary, like people will get used to the change. But sometimes you can see even the sabotage by some workers when they are not willing to accept the change. Also, if you're moving your workloads to the cloud, then you're looking to improve something, to get the benefits of the cloud. If, for instance, you introduce new spreadsheet editor in the cloud, and people are still emailing attachments via email, then you're just doing more of the old and not really moving to the new. If possible, you should get people enthusiastic about the change so that they can help their colleagues and spread good vibes. And what we can see today is that usually people in their ordinary life are using lots of new tools. They're using cloud email, like Gmail or Hotmail, and when they come to work, then they have very old tools. It should not be very difficult to incite change in the way that people work. But if you fail in all of this, you will not get any positive results. And the way in which employees work will remain as it was. They will be angry at you, they will sabotage you, and they will sabotage all efforts to improve the work process with new tools. And you will be left wondering why they do not understand how amazing those new tools are. And sometimes we meet IT managers that simply claim how they have stupid employees that are just not capable of raising up to the task, that they do not understand technology. I am someone that was on the business side for a long time in a large corporation, and I do not agree with this attitude. Employees are quite capable of using new technology, but IT managers and owners and people in charge of making the change must have a deep understanding that change is never easy. Employees are used to doing things they were doing forever, and with operational tasks that are there every day, it is very difficult for them to start using new tools overnight without any training. Also, there is always a need to support users when the tool is fully deployed, at least for some short period. This is why well-planned change management activities are so important and why they are an essential part of the success of the project. And it is something that needs to be repeated all over again. And pretty much it will relate to any project. But when we are talking, for instance, about the project in which employees must stop using old-fashioned spreadsheet tools like Microsoft Excel, and they must move to G Suite Sheets or Office 365 Excel in the cloud, it is absolutely crucial that this change is very important and it must be taken very careful care of. We can say that the main goal of change management is to drive people to recognize and accept the opportunities that change offers. And the move to the cloud is one that requires a lot of change and managing of the change, ability to transform and to adapt to new technologies. Many times senior managers are afraid of the change themselves and they push back the change. It is also important to recognize that, and this is why it is very important to hire external consultants that have no interest in the game, just, I don't know, like to be somebody that will be in good relations with the senior manager. And if you're internal, then you will most probably not be able to put your foot on the ground and to really push the change. But if you're an external consultant, you're in a much better position. So the top management should really understand that and ask for help with the change management. Using new technology, and especially when you're moving your business to the cloud, is not easy, and it really requires a lot more change management than ever before. Additionally, there is an aspect of the type of changes you need to manage. For instance, there are the product changes, because any new tool, any new product that people will be using requires time to get users up to speed. Usually it is not a problem to start using some product at a very basic level, but more advanced users will need more support or training, and people in charge of the project should be aware of that. Then there will be policy changes. There will be new features, new opportunities to change the old way of doing things. And your policies should adapt accordingly. For instance, if you have never used mobile device management before, and now you have the Office productivity tool that includes mobile device management, you should really think about how to apply this to your organization. How maybe you will be using the bring your own device to work policy for now, or you will use it somehow differently. So there are many options, and you really need to be considering all those impacts that new technology will have on your everyday operations. And last but not the least, there will be process changes. There will be internal processes that might change and will need to be adapted. Additionally, using services in the cloud might also change the way you share your data with the outside world. You will have to change how you view your documents. What does it mean to have a secret document? Do you even want your employees to be able to share documents outside of your domain? So there will be many decisions that you will need to make in order to adapt to the new technology. And this is all part of the change management. When we are working on change management projects, we always make a very detailed plan, taking into account all the players in the company. For instance, if you have a very strong support from the CEO, then it would be an amazing idea to have CEO send an email to all the employees detailing how and why we will be making the change. It is very important also to recognize the roles in the change management process. Mostly you will be working with the human resource management department or somebody that is in charge of change management. There are some companies that do have the change management role. So it will be very important to precisely plan and to adapt the plan to the specific situation in the company, because every organization is very different, in fact. And several times I just want to point something out. I mentioned education and training, and I would like to say that we see how true change management will prepare the organization to reap the true benefits of the cloud. And the true and well-positioned change management would be more focused on education rather than on simple training. What this means is that, as you know, training is more practical in theory, while education is wide. And training will sort of prepare you to use one specific tool, while education should prepare you for your future job and develop your ability to adapt and grasp general concepts. The world is really changing rapidly, and I believe that companies do have the social responsibility to prepare their employees for the new world. Every day somebody's saying something very scary like AI, machine learning, it will change the way that we live, people will lose jobs. But people that will have skills, that will be able to learn and to grow, will never lose their job. They will always be able to find some other niche, to find some other way, and to be usable in the job market. I believe that companies that are, for instance, introducing new technology in the company have the social responsibility to really educate their employees so that they can not just use features in their everyday work, but also be able to grow and to educate themselves in a way that will help them to use future new tools and new products and new services in the cloud and in all other areas. Companies really need to have a very good sense of reasoning and good judgment about the future, because as we all know, some of the old business models are just fading away. They're just no longer interesting for consumers, and there is not a single vertical that will not change. We will see a completely new world very soon, and even though it is all comprised of very small changes, but step by step we are changing the way that we are living. Now, like 30 years ago, we could not imagine something like Amazon. 30 years ago, it was impossible to think of something like Google. And things will change a lot, and change management is very important. In the end, all of this is also the reason why we need UseWise. We need a platform that will make your technology upgrade much easier than it is today. However, even though UseWise will also deal with change management in some ways, it will still be important to account for the fact that you have humans in your company, and that humans, first of all, they need the choice. We want to make it very easy for companies to deploy both G Suite and Office 365 to their users. We don't want companies to be thinking about, I'm in this cloud or that cloud, and I'm stuck in this cloud or in that cloud. We want companies to really have the choice, and we want companies to be able to fully utilize the soft skills change management on services that are diverse. We want UseWise to be one place for all companies to come and to be able to build bridges and not have very strict walls between public clouds. I wish you a very nice day. Thank you for watching my video. I will be making new videos very soon. Most probably we will start next week with interviews with our CTO. I hope you will find this interesting, and if you like the video, like it. If you want to subscribe please, and hit the little bell, and have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.